You're here because you want to protect your investment in your smartphone by protecting the front. Because, well, let's be honest, that is exposed to the world. You're also here because you've probably started looking into tempered glass screen protectors versus the generic screen protectors that you can get. Hello, I'm Wanderer001 and this is my review of Zagg VisionShield Glass Elite VisionGuard Plus. I know it's a mouthful, and the thing with screen protectors are, you can't really review it properly until you put it on your smartphone. So there's not much to look at the beginning. But what I will say, not all tempered glass screen protectors are treated the same. In fact, I originally had a Zagg Invisible Shield on my Pixel 2 and then got a generic tempered glass screen protector for my wife's phone. And let's just say the results speak for themselves.
Example of not all glass screen protectors are treated equal. This one was put on much sooner than the one on the left here. This is my Pixel 2. So I've had this on here for 3 years. And you can see, aside from just needing to be wiped down a little more, it's just a little greasy. This, on my wife's, has not quite been 3 years on here, but you could see it is much worse for wear.
With that being said, looking at the screen protector on here right now is not going to be as useful as we'll just talk about the box for the start. The Glass Elite VisionGuard is a step above their standard Glass Elite screen protector in that it offers blue light protection. How you feel about that is up to you. But based on what we see, strongest glass protection, I can attest to how strong Zagg's invisible shields are. The kills 99.99% of common surface bacteria, protect eyes from blue light, and then easy safe technology. With this particular one, you actually get a little pamphlet inside, which is crazy. So again, they're showing you, hey, we protect against bacteria. Well, that's only protecting your screen surface from bacteria. Up there in the corner, if you're looking for something to disinfect your entire phone. Because here they're talking about, well, the problems with blue light, the amount of time that most people spend in front of a computer screen, and then bacteria that you can pick up on your phone versus what you would see in a toilet. Most places that talk about viruses will talk about that, hey, most surfaces are much dirtier than the toilet in your bathroom. And then over here, more discussion about blue light. Like I said, depending on your thoughts of blue light, that's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. I, on the other hand, really got this one because I couldn't find the Glass Elite Plus without VisionGuard for the Pixel 5. So coming around to the back, what we see is protection from digital eye strain, shows true colors, and I will say that the color that you see through the screen protector is true to form. I love it. Shatterproof, again, can speak to that. Clear, smudge-free screen. I will say that, again, all screen protectors are going to get smudgy. All you have to do with these, you just wipe it down and it goes away. It is not as smooth to the touch as the just straight Glass Elite Plus. So that little extra layer that you get with the VisionGuard also makes it a little less slippery. Is it a deal breaker? No, because it is still super smooth. It's just not quite as smooth. And then easy application. Well, with most screen protectors, that is the bane of my existence, is the application of them. So why don't we use this as a segue to actually show you what the application of said screen protector was like. This will be the installation for the InvisiShield Glass Elite Vision Plus. So we'll go over what's in the box, throw that over there. Presentation, open it up. You've got your application tray, so a little guide to help make things easier putting it on your smartphone. We'll just take all that out. So what do we have here? We have our cleaning cloth, our dust sticker, and an alcohol wipe in there. All right, so that's that. And then here we actually have the glass itself. So we'll just pull that out right there. And there you go, it tells you which side is up. So you take off stage 1 here first, and then stick it like that. Now you'll notice in the corner there, this does have a punch out, and I want to say like a slight yellowish tinge to it, and that's probably because of the blue light. So it's be interesting to see how this goes on. We're gonna set this aside for the time being, we're going to bring our Pixel 5 into frame. And it is resting on a case at the moment just to make this a little easier for me. We're going to go through the cleaning process before application. So there you can kind of see there's a little oil spot on there, which we will hit first with our microfiber cloth. So we're going to give this a good scrubbing. And I'm doing this around the camera, and I'll try and make this as nice for you so that you can see and get a good idea for yourself. But just keep in mind that my OCD of needing an absolutely perfect screen is going to take precedence over your ability to see. So I do apologize for that in advance. Now, the one thing that I did notice that was not included with this particular kit that was included last time with my other InvisiShield was a index card to help smooth things out. Now, I don't know why they decided not to include that. I'm going to hit it with the wet wipe, which actually is wet in comparison to the earlier version, which did not have a wet wipe. It was more of a dry alcohol. This is definitely a wet alcohol. But I don't know why they didn't include a index card. I will admit that my last application with my Pixel 2, all those many years ago, was a practically bubble-free application. However, I still feel that there should be a card to help push out any bubbles that may occur. And I hope they won't occur, but any that do, I do wish that they would provide you with an application index card just to help smooth things out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our dust sticker here, and we are going to work quickly at this point because dust just lives in your house regardless. So we want to make sure that we do this quickly so that just existing doesn't drag any dust to it. And that looks like it's as good as we're going to get, so we're going to move quickly. We're going to throw the tray on it, guide tray. We're going to come over, we're going to get our thing. We're going to peel this layer first, which is really, really sticky. Actually, all right, this first layer first. So I have to hit this with the dust sticker again. I can see already. All right, we're going to hit that with the dust sticker again. This peel first. I'm peeling actually the sticker off of the thing that you're supposed to peel, which is this white thing here. So that's super thick. So just know you're going to have to really work that corner, which isn't really coming into focus. That corner there to get this thing off. Looks okay. We'll hold our breath. Okay, we will hold our breath and move quickly. Again, we'll put our tray on. I will take this one off camera to do because it's just a pain, apparently. Wow, yeah, that is really on there. Okay. So we're gonna take and flip this around and use our guiding here and then push down in the middle, because that's how this worked last time. Push down in the middle and then you kind of work things to the edges. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the tray off, and as my little tool to work out some of these bubbles, like there's a big old one here, just push that to the edge. Just rub these, and I know this makes for super, super awesome content for you. As many of them out here as we can. Now, I've said this before, I've had other InvisiShield cases and InvisiShield screen protectors, and what has happened in the past is like these bubbles here, they go away as you just kind of day-to-day use. I'm gonna say that's good enough for now. So you can see there are a couple of spots there that look a little bit oily, but perhaps when I take off the top layer there, look, they will go away. All right, so they did not, but like I said, with a little rubbing with this, they should disappear. But I'm not gonna make you sit through that. We'll come back in a couple of days after I use it a little more and see if those go away. As you saw there from the application, the screen protector itself is actually a little thicker than what you get with the Glass Elite Plus. And you may notice that I still have some bubbles on my screen. I will say that part of that is probably due to user installation error. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the corner there, I had, and let's see if I can get that to focus, right there. As a little piece of dust that got caught, which didn't bother me because it was out of the way. On the side there, another piece of dust. I actually put this on somewhat cockeyed, meaning I did not line it up perfectly straight. So this is my one problem with the cutout, is that you're worrying about the cutout and not necessarily worrying about lining it up. Also, when I did this, I was doing it to film, so I didn't have the screen on, so you can't really tell where the screen is on this because it's all black. Well, I was preparing to do a review of the case I got for this, and because this was slightly askew, you can kind of see right there, there was a little portion of the screen that was not touching the actual screen itself, so there was that little gap, and when I peeled away the case that I had on this, it actually lifted up the screen protector, and I got these bubbles, and then here, I really wish that I could kind of flatten that out and make that go away, and perhaps with time, I might be able to again, but there actually now is a hair that got underneath there, which is preventing the adherence of the screen protector in that corner. So for me, that's a real bothersome thing. With this particular screen protector, you are getting full screen adherence, and there are other tempered glass screen protectors out there that only adhere to the edges. I like ones that adhere to the full screen because you don't want to have that little air gap in there, which can cause problems in that, you know, your screen protector has that little air gap, meaning that pressure can happen, things can break. When you have a fully adhered one, it takes the entire shock and you don't have to worry. But with the VisionGuard here, because it's got that extra layer, like it's almost non-insignificant, but it's large enough that it caused problems when I peeled it off. So that's kind of hard. Again, if you look, you can see with most glass screen protectors that there is going to be a lip. That collects dust and everything. One thing with having the punch out for the front-facing camera, just like the sides of the screen protector, that punch out does collect dust around where the camera lens is. So it hasn't affected any of the photos that I've taken so far. Concerned in the future that I might have to actually dust that off every time before I use the front-facing camera, as opposed to the older one I had on my Pixel 2, which was right over the lens and didn't affect picture quality at all, and I didn't have to worry about dust collecting there. Because the Pixel 2 has a under display speaker, the question is, does this screen protector affect sound quality at all with that under display speaker? And I will say, in comparison to how it was before I put the screen protector on, there isn't actually a noticeable degradation of sound quality. Again, this front-facing speaker is nothing like the dual system that I had on the Pixel 2. So really the majority of the sound you're getting from the bottom of the phone anyway, but for phone calls and such, it is not a noticeable difference in having the extra layer of the screen protector on versus just having the display itself. And when held up on a white screen, it doesn't show anything at all. And I would do that, but I don't feel that it would be a fair demonstration having these opened up because, you know, there's now light bleed there. And the reason I'm giving you all this information is because there is a price difference between the Glass Elite Plus and the Glass Elite VisionGuard Plus. And it's only a $10 increase, but when you're already paying $40 for the base glass screen protector from Zagg, tacking on $10 for the VisionGuard stuff bumps that up to $50, and that makes it a little harder of a thing to swallow for a screen protector. $40 for a Zagg screen protector, I am perfectly fine spending because the proof is in the pudding. I've showed you what it was like after a period of time with my old phone. I have a harder time recommending a $50 screen protector that you have to be so precise in the application of. And most people out there, yes, YouTubers can slap them on and slap them off and no problems, but I'm not an average YouTuber. I don't do this type of thing all the time. And you could see I was super careful about it and I still ran into problems. So it's difficult for me to recommend something at this price point, even though if it gives you that level of protection. I would highly recommend checking out the Glass Elite Plus for your Pixel 5, as long as you're not worried about the blue light stuff. If you're worried about blue light, maybe consider it, but there's applications on your phone, one up there in the corner, that will help you with that so you don't have to spend that extra money. Because now, this is going to annoy me. I'm gonna go out and see if I can find the Glass Elite Plus for my Pixel 5. But like I said, when I was looking originally, they were sold out. So I'm gonna try and get that. Hopefully you have found some portion of this helpful. It was a little trickier for me because I like Zagg's tempered glass screen protectors. It's just that the Glass Elite VisionGuard Plus for the price was not living up to what I would consider recommending entirely. With that being said, I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.
If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.